believe we on. Okay, yeah, we are. Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, we'll say call halal. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Send double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to all you brothers and sisters out there pushing the glory of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, in sincerity and truth. This is GMS Dallas in class. In today's class, what we want to talk about is power. You know, we all are looking for power. You know, some sort of power with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and we are granted power through the Spirit, and we want to talk about the different elements of power, spiritually, mentally, and on the physical plane. I want to start off with the book of Genesis and just kind of highlight why our name is Israel, and kind of take it from there, because the scripture says that and ye are gods or powers,
right?
And with that comes levels of responsibility, knowledge, know-how, and everything like that. So, with no further ado, man, I'm gonna have the brother Yadaka open up with Genesis.
This is Genesis 32:28. It says, he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thou power with the Most High and with men, and has prevailed.
Right. So his name is going to be changed to Israel. For as a prince thou hast thou power with the Most High. And so we have been granted through the Spirit. Our forefather Jacob, right, his name was changed to Israel. And we always teach what does that word Israel mean? He's a prince of God, or prince of the power. And so when we look this word up, let's see if we can look up this word here, Israel.
And the prince is the son of a king, if I could just add too, you know?
Absolutely. And so what does a prince do? Prince gets an inheritance, which we're going to pull that on the next scripture, right?
To that authority.
That's right. Now, you see here in the Hebrew, Yashar Allah, Yasha Allah. Okay. Now, let's get that word Allah or God or power and see what it means. Right? You see that? Allah. Okay. It says God, God-like one, mighty men, men of rank, mighty heroes. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the nation of Israel is to be mighty heroes on the earth, men of rank on the earth, men of authority. Okay, angels. It can mean a god or even a false god, like a demon. Those are powers on the left-hand side. Demons are powers on the left-hand side. We're supposed to claim power on the right-hand side. We want to talk about right-hand power today. Okay, it says God, the one true power, Yahweh. Mighty things in nature, strength, power. So we have power with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that was granted to our forefather Israel and all of his sons and children. Okay, now skip over to Romans 8:17, and that'll highlight the prince part, because it's just like the brother said, we are princes.
Right.
So what does a prince receive? He receives the inheritance of the king.
Right.
Romans
7.
8 and 17.
Salaki. This is Romans 8:17. It says, and if children, can I start at 16?
You sure can.
This is Romans 8:16. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are children of the Most High.
That's right.
Yahweh. And if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. So
if we suffer with him on this side, we're going to also be glorified, meaning we're going to receive the same type of authority and power that he had. We're going to be joint heirs, man.
Right.
Okay, we're going to be upgraded even as he was. Now, what type of power was given unto him? You know, when you go to the book of Revelation, the 5th chapter, you go down to the 12th verse. It says, saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessings. And every creature which is in heaven and on the earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb forever and ever. All right. And so, as joint heirs, that level of authority, through the Spirit, the elect are going to get that, or are going to be right there if we suffer with him. You're going to receive a level of power, man. And there's 3 elements of power, if you're taking notes, that we want to talk about. We want to talk about spiritual power, we want to talk about mental power, and we want to talk about physical power. Okay. So because of this authority, because of this of this might, there's things that are granted with that level of power. You got a precept.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had this, but this is Sirach 44:1. It says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord had wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning."
That's right, man. So we are presence of the power. So the glory through them, right? So there's going to be a level of spiritual power we receive. There's going to be levels of mental and physical power that we receive. Now, can you done on that, or is there more?
Just like 2 more verses.
Let's go, champ.
It says, "Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies."
Boom. So, right. So they ruling with their power, right? All right. So the Lord was with them. The Spirit, there was a spirit on those men to rule. All right. And they were men of renown. Okay. Go ahead.
It says, "Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people."
Meet for the people, meaning that they were the right person. They were the right person to lead. And that's what we're being raised up to do, to lead the nation of Israel and the rest of the entire world. Everything that is which is in heaven and on earth and under earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them. All right. Joint heirs with Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
That's right.
All right.
Well, last part. My favorite part of this verse. Wise and eloquent in their instructions. Wise and eloquent, because we got the direct instruction from the Father. That authority that's going to be passed down to a son, he's going to be given the blueprint of how to run the kingdom.
That's right.
That's what access through Yahweh Shah gives us through Yahweh, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
That's
as sons, as joint heirs, we get that access back to rulership, meet for the people.
Can you get John 14 and 12, Baba Kusha?
John 14 and 12.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is St. John.
You started at 11.
14 and 11. "Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me."
This is Yahweh Shah talking. Go ahead.
"Or else believe me for the very works' sake."
For the power that I show, right? Through me. Go ahead.
"Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do."
Boom. So that's one of the first aspects of spiritual power, is power over creation itself. Power over creation itself. The miracles. What did you see? You saw the control of being able to turn water into wine. You saw the control of being able to remove demons and spirits and cast them out. You saw the ability to walk on water. You saw the ability to be able to make the tempests and the winds stop. You had authority. The Yahweh Shah had authority over those things. The men of the Lord had authority over creation itself. This is the highest form of spiritual power. And Yahweh Shah was expressing, you see what I'm able to do in creation? It just what you, if you see these works, you will know that I am in the Father, and I'm in the Father, and the Father is in me. So that's one of the most powerful examples of what? Spiritual power. And the scripture says that if we believe, then we shall get spiritual power. And we saw that with the apostles. When they went out and they were sent forth, they received the Holy Spirit, and they were given power over life and death and creation itself. Okay, more?
Yes, it. I'll just read it again.
Okay.
St. John 14 and 12. It says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father."
Boom, boom. So that's one aspect of spiritual power. But what's another aspect of spiritual power? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. I want to read that.
Kind. This is in the book.
You know what? We're talking about that. Let's go to Isaiah 40 first. Because we talking about that. Go to Isaiah 40.
This is Isaiah 40 and
28.
Isaiah 40 and 28. It says, "Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary.
Mm-hmm.
There is no searching of his understanding.
Mm-hmm.
He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength.
That's right.
Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall.
Go ahead.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength."
Those that wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They're constantly will be invigorated, rejuvenated. They won't run out. They tank don't go out. You know what I'm saying? That's power with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You have power over this body, over this earth plane, meaning even over your own flesh. The first aspect of spiritual power is power over creation itself, which blows people's minds sometimes. Even these Christians, they don't understand. Even some of these fake Israelite groups, those miracles ain't real. Yes, they are real. The men of the Lord was raising people up from the dead. Literally. They had authority over the heavens and the earth through Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Go ahead.
It says, verse 31, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint."
We can go all day. We can go all day, right? Power over this physical body. The Most High is going to upgrade us, man. We're going to come into a new way of being. So I wanted to highlight that aspect of spiritual power. Okay, that's what. But how do we even start to access that? How do we even start to access the first parts of spiritual power? Okay, let's get Deuteronomy 30 and 8.
Okay. You want to read it? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And then that one you had in
Deuteronomy
17, because that's going to go into another aspect.
All right. Sally.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 8. And it reads, "And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle,
Mm-hmm.
and in the fruit of thy land for good. For Yahweh will again rejoice over thee for good, as he has rejoiced over thy fathers."
What was the criteria in verse 8? You must obey. Obedience. Faith and obedience is the first part of accessing all the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Absolutely.
Faith and obedience is the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua leads to what? Obedience and faith. Faith and obedience and what he said, what he wants, what you're going to do. And then the Most High will open you up to start to receive power. Now, for us, the key aspect of power is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The ability to see before. Okay? The Most High will give it to his men.
Right.
His mysteries, his secrets. That's a form. That's the next form of spiritual power. The first is power over creation of itself.
Right.
Then the next thing is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's a very, very powerful aspect of authority. Okay. All right, read what you got, bro.
Kind. This is Deuteronomy 17.
Because if you know what to do, if you got the knowledge to do something right, what's going to happen? Things are going to prosper in your hands.
Yeah, that produces the confidence.
That's right.
That sure instruction, you going that way is going to lead to abundance. We got that way through the Spirit.
That's right.
And wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's going to keep us stable in the times, like it says in Isaiah 33.
Kind. If one of you brothers that's listening can get the scripture on King Solomon when he prayed for wisdom.
Oh yeah,
and what he gave him.
That's like 2 Chronicles. Like this is Deuteronomy 17 and 18. "And it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests, the Levites, and it shall be with him, and he shall be read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his power.
That's right. He may learn to fear the Lord, his God, his power. Okay, that's the first elements of it. Go ahead.
To keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them.
He's gonna move in wisdom. Okay, go ahead.
That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren,
Go ahead.
and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom.
Why? Because through their fear, you're going to move righteously, which prolongs life, which creates an atmosphere of immortality. Okay, go ahead.
It says he and his children in the midst of Israel.
That's good.
I got something to back
Just
up
that
the Deuteronomy.
obedience leading to just immortality in the kingdom.
Kind.
We're in that process right now. How about Shema Shabbat?
Go ahead.
This is backing up that obedience and being fruitful in your works afterwards. This is 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 21. Yahweh rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanliness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not wickedly departed from my God. You brought up the statement just a little bit going into being fully obedient. You know, and just as our experience being in this knowledge, when you know that there's things that you are, you know, when you're keeping the ways of the Lord more sharper, notice he rewards your prayers more openly. You ask for things and you actually see it being answered right before your eyes, which is that power within itself, you know, which makes sense, having more of that clean conscience, the clean hands that David had expounded on, being rewarded because of that. We see that daily as we're in this walk and we obey. You know?
Absolutely. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 6. I saw the brother Jim Stay Humble posted 1 Kings 3:9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great people? And then the Most High responded, since you asked for this, I'm gonna give you more. Because you've asked for knowledge and wisdom, I'm gonna give you more. That was spiritual that he asked for that. So now let's read Wisdom of Solomon 6, because the Wisdom of Solomon 6 does take you kind of through a progression of power with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, so now we started off with accessing power, spiritual power, through obedience, faith, fear. All right, these aspects bow your head down to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and then you're blessed through that. Okay, and so the one key aspect of power is what? Rulership over the earth plane. All right, really rulership over the heavens and the earth. When you understand it,
man,
when because that was all given to Yahushua, and we're joint heirs. That's why you can call demons out and send them back to the spirit realm. That's why wherever. That's why you can bring someone back to life, because you are given authority over heavenly things and earthly things through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because if you notice, the Most High always showed his power by manipulating creation. I'm gonna stop the sun real quick. I'm gonna open up the sea on you boys. You know what I'm saying? You know, all of these type of things. Let me turn this water into wine through my son. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you how powerful I am. This earth doesn't control me. The heavens don't even control. I control it. Okay? So now let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 6.
Can you come first? That's that brother Mike's show. Okay.
Start at verse. Start at verse 12, but read quickly.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 12. And it reads, Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She prevented them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them.
Go ahead.
Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors.
Go ahead, champ.
To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her.
She seeks those that are worthy of her, those who have a humble, contrite, fearful Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, obedient spirit. Go ahead.
For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought.
Meeteth them in every thought, right? Get Proverbs 8 and 11. Real quick.
Come. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 8. Let's see.
Good.
This is Proverbs chapter 8, verse 11. And it reads, "For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that they may be desired are not to be compared to it."
Right. Wisdom is better than rubies, man. Okay. Ecclesiastes 9 and 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised and his words are not heard. So it says wisdom is better than strength, man. That's the one chief aspect of spiritual powers: knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay. So going back to Wisdom of Solomon 6.
Can I get one real quick?
Go ahead, champ.
This is just backing you up with that wisdom. This is Romans 11 and 33. It says, "Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out."
Mm-hmm. That's why, you know, even like if you talk to someone who's wealthy, they'll say, I don't care if I lose all my wealth. Why? Because I know how to get it back. Because I got the knowledge. I got the understanding. I can lose all this, right? I can lose, you know, I've heard them. I can lose all this right now. I'm not worried about that. I can get it back.
Right.
Because I have the wisdom. I have the knowledge and understanding of how to get it back. That's the key. Right? So we want to have that wisdom with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. From that point forward, things manifest.
Right.
All right. But what's a key aspect of getting wisdom? We're talking about spiritual power. Now let's go into mental power. All right. So read that and read that right there. Wisdom Solomon 6 and 17.
This is back in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 17. And it says, "For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline,
Mm-hmm.
and the care of discipline is love.
Go ahead.
And love is the keeping of her laws,
Mm-hmm.
and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption."
Now, where does that battle happen? That battle happens in the mind. So one key aspect of power is developing discipline. All right, developing discipline over fighting fleshly thoughts with spiritual thoughts, choosing spiritual thoughts and remaining sober. That's why the scriptures talk about remaining sober. Why? Because what type of decisions do you make when you're drunk? You know, you are impaired mentally. You were mentally impaired due to being drunk off what? Different wicked spirits. All right. So one key aspect is the Most High is going to help us hunker down and maintain a strong mind. You can go Romans 12 and 2.
Okay.
I got it right here. It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And it reads, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High."
Right. The renewing of your mind that you may prove what is good. All right. So you can't be conformed to this world. You got to be conformed to the word. You got to be transformed by the washing of the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And you got to continually drink of that cup. There's got to be a daily discipline that we practice. Why? Because it's going to help you prove that which is good and acceptable in your personal daily life and seeing things before. Having a disciplined mind in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is key to maintaining a level of fear, humility, faith, and obedience to continually gain access to the spiritual power of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Do we understand? Does that make sense?
Done.
Okay.
Crystal clear.
You have a point?
Yes, sir, I do. This is the book of James, chapter 4, starting at 7, the point is in 8. "Submit yourselves, therefore, to the Most High.
Nice.
Resist the devil, and he will flee."
That's right.
And that comes with that discipline, because when you're on the pathway to discipline, Satan is going to get involved. When you say, "Look, I'm not going to do this no more because I do want to get closer to the Lord," Satan going to be right there, and that fight's going to be there to build you up. But when you resist Satan, you're only going to get closer to the Lord, and that's where that power is going to be made manifest.
That's right. That's right.
This is the point in verse 8. "Draw nigh unto the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you." And there's only power that comes with drawing nigh unto the Lord. You ain't going to draw nigh unto the Lord, and power ain't going to be given. All right? And this is power on all aspects, not only just the outward power like you were talking about, but the power of the mind.
That's
the
right.
strength the Lord's going to give you. Okay?
A war. Can you get 1 John 4 and 18. You still got more?
There's a little more to this
Can you
verse.
call in and read it, Baba Kusha?
Con. James 4 and 8. Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. And it's the irony within that, because there was a previous scripture that was read earlier in 2 Samuel 22, going into how a prayer of David saying that the Lord rewarded him according to his righteousness and by the cleanliness of his hands. So that's the scoop James is giving right there, to make sure that we're doing the best that we can do to have our hands clean. That way we can draw closer to the Lord and be open to that power. That's it on that precept.
Mm-hmm.
You said 1 John 4
And 18.
Con. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 18. And it says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear,
Mm-hmm.
because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
That's right, man. And so what's that fear of? Fear of the world, right? Fear of circumstance of this earth plane. When you understand that you're underneath Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, your mind is comforted. You have a strong mind. You're not tossed to and fro and double-minded. You don't have one foot in the world and one foot in this truth, man. You're sound. Okay, get that in Timothy.
I'm pulling it up right
I got
here.
it right
You
here.
got it? Con.
Yeah, this is 2 Timothy 1 and 6. It says, wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of the Most High, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands.
Mm-hmm.
For the Most High hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
But power and of love and of sound mind to continue in this thing. And the Most High will continuously sup with you if you choose his discipline, if you choose his chastisement of that battle between the flesh and the spirit. The battle between the flesh and the spirit is trying you out, is refining you. The Most High is seeing your obedience. And if you endure to the end, your obedience, you will be upgraded with ultimate power. Right now, we show our power through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Okay? If somebody can get Psalms 116.
Con. I got it right here.
Psalms 116 and start up, bro. You know what? Let me see. 116. This is such a good one. It's like you can read this whole thing.
The whole chapter's fine.
Just start at
15.
Yeah, 15 is good.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 116, verse 15. And it reads, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. Oh, Lord.
You know what? Start up at 6.
Okay.
And just read through.
Got it. This is Psalms 116 and 6. Yahweh preserveth the simple. I was brought low, and he helped me. Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for Yahweh hath dealt bountifully with thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from falling.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk before Yahweh in the land of the living.
Mm-hmm.
I believed, therefore I have spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars.
I said in my head, all men are liars. This is everything's a scam likely. We talked about that on highways and byways, man. That can make you very resentful of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you have trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, what will he do? He will comfort your mind.
Right. That's right.
He will help you have a disciplined, strong mind. When we have doubt, when we have fear of circumstances of the world, it makes us double-minded. It makes us go back and forth. The Most High does not like that.
Right.
That back and forth, wishy-washy, 1 minute you good, but something happened, and now I don't know spirit. That's the spirit of that's a feminine spirit. You know, that's the spirit of women. Well, everything's all good, and one thing happened, they don't like, oh, I don't know, maybe this is not right. You know, Most High don't like that. That's why we compare King Saul versus King David.
Oh, yeah.
King Saul would pray and still be scared after he prayed. King David would pray and then move forward with confidence, knowing that because he trusted in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Why? King David had a strong mind because of his faith. The Most High blessed his mind with strength to face adversities, to face trials. And what happened, man? He was given spiritual power, man. Right?
Yep.
So when we read these things, when we pray, when we move forward, it's supposed to help us continue to have a form of power in the mind.
Yep.
Okay, this is mental push-ups that we having, man. This fight in the flesh. Choose the spirit. Choose obedience, and it's not going to always look good. It's not going to always feel good. That's why we're called disciples.
Right. Yep.
We're being disciplined. Okay. Is there more? Yeah, keep reading on that. Matter of fact, watch this.
I got a quick precept.
This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed." So the reason why I want to bring that out is the point is that it says, "Lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees." You know, having hands that hang down and feeble knees is a sense of you being weak or you being scared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it said, and make straight paths for your feet. Meaning what? You're gonna have to go through the straight gate. You're gonna have to go through one path. But when you go through that path, you're gonna have to trust Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai in the path that you're going.
That's right.
Knowing that it's the path that He wants you to go in, man. Knowing that He's walking with you.
Yep.
You know? That was on that.
Now, just real quick as an experiment, I typed in discipline and then I went to the NLT. Because if you look up in the King James, it don't pull up much because it's worded different. But if you go to the NLT and you type in this word discipline, those of you who are watching can see me kind of scrolling through all of these scriptures mentioning discipline. I'm just going to quickly read a few of them. Okay. Proverbs 1 and 2. Their purpose is to teach people wisdom and discipline to help them understand the insights of the wise. Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Proverbs 3 and 11. My child, don't reject the Lord's discipline and do not be upset when he corrects you. All right. Proverbs 5 and 12. You will say how I hated discipline if only I had not ignored all the warnings. Proverbs 6 and 23. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way of life. See, discipline is commanded in our lives to grow. But because discipline creates a strong mind, a mind that will hold on to obedience in the face of fear, in the face of things that's going bad. You have to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Right. It says, Proverbs 12 and 1, to learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. Okay. And discipline is not a happy thing in this world, in this life. You know, let's look up that word discipline in the dictionary. Discipline in the dictionary says the practice of training people to obey rules. that's in the mind. Yeah. Or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Man. Okay? Everybody wants light discipline. They want nice discipline. Don't do it like the Lord is harsh, man. Mm-hmm. And the men of the Lord are going to come that way too. Because we're here through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai to discipline the nation. And those who are going to bow and be obedient will be blessed. And those who are going to choose disobedience, what's going to happen to them? They're going to be destroyed. So discipline, we're reading about, which we're going to go back to Wisdom of Solomon 6, is the beginning of being able to receive corrective knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's a thing in the mind, a strength in the mind of choosing obedience versus disobedience. Yes. Okay? So mind power is very important. Right? We can't have weak minds, like me and Apostle been talking about. We can't have that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, cowabunga dude mindset. This is a very serious thing. Okay? You got a point? Okay, you had that. I got a precept. Look,
no, I had Wisdom Solomon 6, but then
oh, okay. Okay. Somebody else got a precept, but we can go back to Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, let's go back to wisdom. So we talked about spiritual power. Just to recap, spiritual power over creation of itself, the heavens and the earth, and everything that's underneath the earth. When you read in Revelation, the 5th chapter, that was Yahweh Shai had that authority. Us as joint heirs, we're gonna get some of that too. Exactly. Was not the apostles, casting out demons? I use those examples, right? Right. Right. The next aspect of spiritual power is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because the reason I call it spiritual power, because that comes along with prophesying, seeing things before they happen, being prudent. That's a spiritual thing, spiritual discernment. That's a part of spiritual power, man.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then that translates into mental power, discipline of the mind to choose the love of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is the keeping of his commandments. Developing a strong mind. The Most High is going to continue to renew our minds as long as we have the discipline to stay in his word. Okay? That's going to lead us to obedience. Everybody staying with me?
I got a precept if you don't mind.
Let's go, champ.
Deuteronomy 4 and 5.
I was just talking until you came up with one.
Deuteronomy 4 and 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. It says, keep them therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people," meaning a people that's fit to rule through that discipline and obedience of our power and the instruction that has been given to us as sons.
That's right.
The know-how to govern. You know,
That's right.
we're coming in back into that. You know,
Kind. You have another point on that?
that's pretty.
All right, so now I want to go to the third aspect. Everybody's favorite part is power in the body. Okay, power in the body. Okay, let's go to Psalms 18 and 30. And then if somebody can get Wisdom of Solomon 15.
I get Psalm 18.
And then also Wisdom of Solomon 2.
I got Wisdom of Solomon 2. What verse you want?
Psalm 15. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay, you got it.
You got it, bro.
Okay. You want to start from the top?
I want to start with Psalms.
I got Psalm. Okay.
Psalms 18. I think what I say 30.
You said 30, but I think probably start up a little, maybe like 28.
Okay, yeah, find a good spot.
Okay. This is Psalm 18, verse 28. It says, For thou wilt light my candle. Yahweh my power will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop.
By thee I have run through a troop. Okay, on some Jet Li shit. Okay, on some Bruce Lee stuff. All that stuff that we enjoy watching on TV. How one guy just run through a whole army. The Most High is gonna give us that type of power, man.
That's right.
Okay, power in the body, superhuman bodies, man. Go ahead.
Like if I can add on to the point what the elder said, like Samson, you know, he had a job on the ass and slew 1,000 Philistines.
That's right.
Said that he had bands on his wrist, and the Lord gave him power. It said the bands burnt. It said that they pretty much broke off as if it was flax that burned away. So you can just imagine just seeing that he wrapped up in bands and he just break them like without even struggling, and he just kill everybody. That was spiritual power. It says, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. As for the Most High, his way is perfect.
Y'all think these NBA players have hops? Y'all ain't seen nothing.
Right.
Y'all haven't seen no type of athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna see it when
Sure.
Yahweh Shah returns. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 30. As for the Most High, his way is perfect. The word of Yahweh is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him.
Go ahead.
For who is the Most High save Yahweh? Or who is a rock save our power? It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds feet and setteth me upon my high places.
Go ahead.
He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by my arms.
Physical, serious strength in the body, man. Okay, go ahead.
Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great.
Go ahead.
Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies.
You got a sure foot, man. You know, that means every step you take, man, is a point of destruction to your enemies, man. Okay? You sure foot. You know how you see Spider-Man leaping from building to building? She has a sure foot. You know, we gonna be sure-footed in that time. Okay?
I got a precept. Proverbs 4:12. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straightened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble.
You ain't gonna stumble, man. You understand? You can only picture it in your mind. Okay? You can only picture in your mind. So that's one of the aspects of power in the body, man, that we're going to receive. That's a form of power. Okay? What's another form of power? Power over time.
Right.
Time is tangible.
Yeah.
Okay? When the glory of the Lord returns, we'll have power even over time itself with the Lord, man. It's a crazy thing to think about. Somebody pull in Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 15
What verse?
and start at 1, Baba
Okay.
Kusha.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, verse 1. But thou, O God, art gracious and true, long-suffering, and in mercy ordering all things. For if we sin, we are thine, knowing thy power. But if we will not sin, knowing that we are counted thine.
Mm-hmm.
For to know thee is perfect righteousness. Yea, to know thy power is the root of immortality.
To know thy power is the root of immortality.
Heavy. That's heavy.
The root of just perpetually increasing and going forward. Okay, with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, this is right hand power. Okay, so we gain access to that. Why? That's why we're named Yashar Allah.
That's right.
Okay, now let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 2.
God. What do you want me to start?
Start at verse, what I write down, 23, Baba Kusha.
God. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. And it reads, For the Most High created man to be immortal.
We were made to be immortal. The whole point of Adam being created and all the Holy Hosts coming down and inhabiting the earth was to have to be in Eden, be in a state of joy, to enjoy this creation that's been given to us and that we have authority over. Go ahead. So the Most High created man to be immortal. Okay, go ahead.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
See? We were made in that image. We were made with that purpose to reflect his power on earth as it is in heaven.
That's right. That's right.
Yahweh Shah came and showed us how it was supposed to be done. Through what? Obedience, faith in the Most High. He showed all aspects of power. All right. The only thing he didn't go after was physical wealth in that world, because he was like, there's another world to come that I'm going to show you how to ball out in. I'm going to show you really how to ball out. But right now, I'm going to show you what obedience to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what type of power you can have through that level of obedience to him. Okay? Read verse 24 just to give the contrast.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
That's right. But through righteousness, through following the Most High, even power over time. The idea, the way we think about time is so stupid, because we're in this flesh that is I'm running out of time, and we do things impulsively. We don't think about 200 years from now. What are my actions doing for 200 years from now? That don't even come to our mind. We trying to think about what we're gonna do in 2 weeks and barely make it there. Okay, but in the righteous mindset, you understand that what you do now reverberates through life, and it don't, it's a ripple. And so what ripple do you want to come back to? What foundation are you going to lay for yourself 400 years from now? That shifts the way you make moves. And when you understand that you're holding that in your hand because of spiritual power, we got time, baby.
Yeah, right.
You move different, you react different. Okay. So that's another aspect of power, is power in the body with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, power over time itself, that physical, because time is tangible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Time is actually a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah.
Okay, it's measurable. Okay, what we understand is time is actually a thing.
Yeah. That
we give power over us, but we were meant to have power over it.
Yeah.
Through Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's right. Yeah, just going into time, it makes me think about, you remember when Uriel was talking to Ezra, and one of the questions he asked him was, bring yesterday back today. He wouldn't ask Ezra that if he didn't have the ability to do that himself. And that's the angelic power that the elect that's going to be restored to the elect. Yahweh Shai comes back, the ability to travel, control time.
Mhm.
Like you said, if you saying that, just made me think about
Yeah,
that.
he made the sun stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He made the sun stop.
Right.
Bruh, think about that.
Stop time. That's right.
Think about it.
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now the next thing that everybody loves, you know, this will be the last part of it, is what? Power over resources. Which is what we all want.
Mm-hmm.
Power over resources, how things move, how the earth moves. When he gave Adam dominion over everything. So let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 6 and read down. Once you have the discipline to receive, to stay in the love of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is the keeping of the commandments, and that leads to incorruption and holiness. What does that lead to? And then get Second Chronicles 1 and 11. Just batting down the point. Who got that Wisdom of Solomon 6?
I got it.
You can just go where you left off. I can find it.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. We're back at verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people.
See that? If your delight be in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, go ahead.
Honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore.
That's right, man. That forevermore, in perpetuity. What does a kingdom hold? All the resources of the lands. Everything that goes out and comes in goes through you and your people. Right? That's that luxurious lifestyle. Like was it in Matthew the 19th chapter? You shall receive of these things 100-fold. Once you sit on these thrones, that's an aspect of power, man. That's power. Esau right now, because he has power, he controls all the major industries in the world. Wealth, true wealth. Slaves, cattle, okay, crops.
Facts.
All right. Controlling aqueducts and dams, how the water's going to flow here and there. Ships and vessels, gold, silver, brass, wood, okay? Platinum.
Uranium, all, yeah.
Everything, man. Think about that. That's an aspect of power, man. But that's just at the very end of power.
Right.
We talked about, you know, you will have the power to be able to manipulate elements if you want to. How you think we'll have so much abundant gold?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Isaiah 60, starting at verse 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to thy brightness of thy rising.
So first part of this to understand is the first resource is the Gentiles, human resources. How much would you get done in your day if you had 3 servants?
You can get quite a bit done in this time.
Think about
Shit
it.
gonna move. Things are gonna
Think about it. How much would you get done if you didn't have to worry about cooking, cleaning, you didn't have to worry about paperwork, somebody does that for you. If you didn't worry about the little menial tasks that you do every week that mean nothing, what would you get done? Think about it.
Quite a
Think about it.
Free to create and build.
Get them 8 to 10 hours that you go give to the enemy to just get some pieces of paper with a dead president on it. That job, if you got those 8 to 10 hours back every single day with servants, what would you get done?
everything.
Yeah.
Bro, think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Body, mind, everything.
That's power.
Yeah. Right. Real talk.
Okay, that's authority in the earth. Okay, go ahead.
Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then shalt thou see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee.
Because the abundance of the seed, meaning all the ships, people bringing in all this stuff, it's going to be converted unto you. Go ahead.
The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Boom. The forces of the Gentiles. I always like pulling that word forces.
Both.
Right? That's Isaiah 60, right?
60 and 5.
The forces of the Gentiles. We're going to get that word forces real quick. Yep, it's the same word for power. Right? It's hayal, okay? It says strength, might, efficiency, wealth, armies, efficiency. I like that. Ability. Okay? So all, man, come on, bro. They all are going to be underneath the control of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. And then us too, man. We're on the right hand. We're joint heirs of that.
That's right. That's right.
Okay?
Man, we got probably have to look to figure when nations rise up, because you know the movie 300, Xerxes has all them armies of the nations. We just send them over there to go handle it real quick.
Yeah.
And if it gets really out of hand and we step in, but we wouldn't have to do that. You know, 'cause we
Bro.
have control of everything.
Our power level is going to be on such a. I don't see much of that going on. After the initial destruction, when the nations buck up to the Holy Host and they get actually put down, the Archangel Michael comes up and the Holy Host comes and it just eviscerates everybody, like we read about. What's that, second Ezra 13? After that, there ain't gonna be too much bucking up.
Yeah, right.
There ain't gonna be too much bucking up, bro. Motherfuckers barely broke up to America. So how would you? We once they see what happens, I mean, you know, maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
but
It's like what our
Bro.
a little bit on the case.
we just buck at a nigga, man.
Yeah, straight up.
You know, sanctions, really? We gonna have to. You don't think we playing with these people like that?
Right.
No, we're not playing with you, boy. Okay, all right.
Imminent death.
Imminent death.
I got something as well.
Yeah, bring them out.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 1, verse 12. And it says, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. Now, particularly in this verse, the word power in the Greek that's pronounced exousia.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into the definition of exousia, it actually means to have authority over the nations. You know what I'm saying? As we're going into the forces of the Gentiles, you know, so that's a power that the Lord is going to bestow upon us when he makes his return.
Ooh, this is good.
Bodies.
Let's bring out that word exousia. Read that again.
I got it. Okay, you already got it.
You can read it though.
Okay.
Sound better when you read it, brother. Go
This
ahead.
is back in 1 John 1 and 12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
Mm-hmm. And this world rejects that idea. This world rejects the idea of you having this type of power. Yep. In every aspect of our lives, that us having the confidence of even receiving that type of power, the world hates you.
That's right.
You know, your closest friends and family. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to have this type of power, man. It condemns their spirit.
Right.
You know? So this is heavy. Go ahead.
God. It says, even to them that believe on his name. And when you go into that word exousia, back in Strong's G 1848, the word exousia, it says power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases.
Liberty of doing as one pleases, man. Can you do that now?
Hell no.
Do you have the liberty of doing as you please?
Hell no.
I need you to be at this job at 7 o'clock.
Right.
And if you're late, this is your second time.
Man.
This is your second time, Dewan. If you late again, that's not power.
Yeah, right.
Your woman trying to tell you what to do. That's not power.
It's uncertainty.
Yeah, everything's uncertain, man. Go ahead, champ.
God, it says leave or permission, physical and mental power.
Physical and mental power. Spiritual power, we talked about mental power and physical power. Go ahead.
The ability or strength which one is endowed, which he either possesses or exercises.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up that example, that definition of discipline
Mm-hmm.
earlier, going into pretty much the exercise of doing something repetitively. You know, practicing that here, that
That's
power
right.
is going to come. It says the power of authority, and it says influence in quotations, and of right, privilege, You're gonna have power to be a spiritual trendsetter, man.
That's right.
Whatever you do and say is gonna be the
It's
energy in
just-
your region.
That's right.
Hey, that's when you have the power and ability over somebody's thoughts and their thought process and how to think.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the greatest forms of power.
That's
people
government.
don't
That's
have
what that
mind-
means. 'Cause, mind control.
God,
You literally don't have mind control of people.
that's right. That's exactly what it's about to say right here. That's a spirit. It says the power of rule or government.
That's it. That's mind control. The word government.
That's it.
All right.
That's right.
Mind control. Govern, control, meant mind. Go ahead.
Mhm. That's a spirit. You're right. You better said that. The power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed.
You must obey.
Ooh, that's heavy.
You must obey. So now they're gonna have to show obedience unto us,
Mhm.
man.
That's right.
Reverence. It's that reverence. Okay, go ahead.
Universally, authority over mankind. It says specifically the power of judicial decisions.
Mhm. How things are ran, coordinated. That's why them 12 thrones and the government of Israel is gonna be set up. The 144,000
That's right.
and the rest, and everything's gonna be established. Go ahead.
Come. It says authority to manage domestic affairs.
Remember, all what we're talking about is the word exousia, which means power. Today we're talking about power. Go ahead.
It says metonymically, a thing subject to authority or rule. Jurisdictions. One who possesses authority, a ruler, a human magistrate.
Uh-huh.
The leading and more powerful among created beings, superior to man.
Man, that's
Woo! Read that next one.
Spiritual potentates of God.
Bro, Mr. Manhattans.
That's right.
Okay? Mr. Manhattans, bro. That's, man, to me, that's the dopest superhero.
He can do everything.
Bruh.
He's got it.
Who gonna fuck with him?
Yeah.
Nobody. He was going back and forth in time, chilling. He was showing you a like an angelic being, bro.
Mhm. Yep.
You know, I was
Straight
like,
up.
to me, that's the most slept on
Real talk.
dude.
No, he really is.
Who fucking with Mr.
Nobody.
Manhattan, bro?
Nobody.
Nobody. He don't need no stones. He don't need none of that bullshit.
Turn Superman inside out.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the natural angelic rule about him.
Yeah,
straight
bro.
up. Mhm.
That's what we go. Hey, bro, we gonna be upgraded, man.
Straight up.
Oh, bro, the next one.
It says a sign of the husband's authority over his wife.
You don't have no power in there in this place,
Man.
man. That's power, a sign of
Heavy.
the husband's authority over his wife. That's supposed to be a natural reverence. She's supposed to submit unto you, under your will, whether it's gentle, whether it's forward, you know,
That's right.
whether she had to clean some doo-doo stains out your drawers the other week. It don't matter.
Yeah.
They don't take away from the power. I always use that example. You know, you know, because it's the most debased thing you can think about.
Yeah, straight up,
Shit
yeah.
stains in your drawers. You thinking of that person? Man, this nigga ain't shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But don't take away his Azuzia in the house, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Beautiful.
I got a precept.
You know,
Heavy.
you know.
This is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. We just read about David in Psalm 18, how he was bending bows of steel, leaping over walls,
That's
running
right.
through troops, you know what I'm saying? So the feeble is going to be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of Yahweh before
That's
you.
it.
And the house of David shall be as God, man. The ultimate upgrade into all forms of spiritual, mental, and physical power. Okay? I still want you to finish that definition out.
Yeah, got it right here.
Yeah, and then we can, if the brothers got precepts, you can bring them out. If not, we can close out.
Got it.
Did we finish Wisdom of Solomon already?
Yeah.
Okay, kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good, huh?
Yeah, I would, that 24th verse though. That's,
Oh, you can bring it up. Bring it out again, bro.
I didn't know if y'all had
Yeah,
already
yeah.
read it.
Make a point on it.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:24, it says, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. So that wisdom is going to have us just governing humanity, like y'all was talking about.
Mhm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's just going to have to be within our rule for their means.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah, because we'll make it drought if the heathen nations don't obey,
That's
Mhm.
it.
that we'll cut them off from having access to food, man. If they don't obey, our will.
That's right.
And
Do we how about Shem Shah?
if I can make a point on what the brother was saying, with that rulership right there too, that's how the world is going to get replenished. And that's how the world is going to get brought back to its original state too, man.
It's going to benefit everybody though,
Mhm.
because it's going to be done in
Without
righteousness.
limits. Exactly.
That's the point.
We're gonna be those spiritual geniuses.
Uh-huh.
When you look up the word genius, people kind of misuse it. I'm gonna read the definition right here. It says a tutelary or moral spirit who guides and governs an individual through life.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
So that's what a genius actually means, and that's what we're gonna be.
That's right.
Little more. There's a few more
Still,
definitions
Second
left.
Chronicles too.
Oh,
you
yeah,
want
we
Second
can pull
Chronicles
that too, man. You don't pull that right now.
Yeah, real quick, might as well.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Second Chronicles 1, and I'll start at 8 just to get the context. It says, and Solomon said unto the Most High, Thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Lord power, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude.
Uh-huh.
Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people.
Mm-hmm.
For who can judge this thy people that is so great?
God, he wanted to be wise in the spirit. He wanted spiritual discernment, spiritual power. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is a form of spiritual power. Go ahead.
It says, give me now, Salakia. And the Most High said unto Solomon,
When you have knowledge, I'm just think about it. When you have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you can see before.
God.
You literally can make predictions on what's going to happen and make the right decision. You see things before. You see steps. Oh, this is going to lead to that. Because spiritually, you understand how it's going to come together in time.
Yeah, patterns.
Being knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is spiritual power, man.
That's it.
Do you understand how powerful that is to be able to do that all the time? You trust a person that's like that. You stick close to them. Like, this person makes good ass decisions.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, everything they do works out.
Yeah.
That's a form of spiritual power. Okay? This is not coming into this truth and having all this information and being able to discern. It means something, man. It's powerful. These words, and you absorb it and you get it and you start to make better and you change and you gain more experience and your spiritual power increasing. Seriously.
Yep.
Okay? It's not some, we want to make it, it's real.
Man,
Yep.
that's right.
You just got to think about it practically sometimes. Be like, okay, man, this is important. I'm a part of something.
Oh yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Second Chronicles 1 and 11. It says, and the Most High said to Solomon, because this was in thine heart, and thou hast not asked for riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thine enemies, neither yet hast asked long life, but hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people over whom I have made thee king. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee,
Mm-hmm.
and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor such as none of the kings have had that have been before thee.
So you're going to ball out more than anybody, King Tut, all these people that, whatever they try to compare
That's
in
right.
history. No, man, they ain't had nothing on King Solomon, man.
That's right.
Nothing. Go ahead. Was that it?
It says, neither shall there any after thee have thee the like.
Bro, neither shall anybody after going to have anything to like.
Right.
So when it's going to take till Yahushua come back before we see that level of balling out,
That immortality.
balling, that where everything works in the proper place, and all you have is life being increased, and the influence of that over the nations is going to make the whole world a better place. Okay, we're going to have that's a level of power, exousia.
Yeah.
It's my new word for the week, the Wadah. Exousia, man. Okay, so did anybody have any closing precepts?
There's two more definitions on that.
Oh, it sure was. Yeah, bring it out.
No, that's all good, bro.
Proverbs, just back in the way you read it with Solomon. Proverbs chapter 3, so verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand,
Length of days is in her right hand,
and in her left hand riches and honor.
and in the left hand, riches and honor, the carnal aspect. You see what I'm saying? It's go, bro. If you got that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, eventually your seed is gonna flourish.
Yeah.
That's what you push first. The fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, discipline to choose Him, is going to increase wisdom. Okay.
Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. The tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her.
Happy is everyone that retaineth her. The wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the way of righteousness. Okay, it's the tree of life. That's the fruit. Is the fruit of the tree of life, with that wisdom, okay, of the Most High. All right. So
I got one more.
let's go, champ.
If you don't mind. This is
I don't mind at all.
Ecclesiastes 7:11. It says, "Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it."
Boom, boom. And so it's a loop that always goes back. You want to finish up them definitions?
Gone.
Okay, champ.
2 more definitions. It says the veil. Back and again for the audience, we're looking up the word power when you read it in the book of St. John, chapter 1, verse 12. All right. And these are the final 2 definitions. All right, for exousia. All right. So going back to it, it says the veil with which so like I read that again. The veil with which propriety required a woman to cover herself.
Mm-hmm.
It says the sign of regal authority, a crown.
Boom.
And regal authority goes into kingship.
Mhm.
You know, excellency.
That's right.
You know,
That's power, man. Okay. So this is the power that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has for the nation of Israel. The princes of power, the princes of the power will gain access to these levels of power spiritually, power over creation itself. All right. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the 2 aspects of spiritual power, right? And we didn't even talk about another aspect of spiritual power is access to the chariots and to actual have a vehicle of glory.
Yeah.
Which is dope.
man,
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yes.
Right? Their mental power, right? Discipline of the mind, okay? A sober, strong mind in the Most High that's constantly that isn't swayed, that isn't back and forth, that understands the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is groomed with it in obedience.
Yeah.
Mental power, where demons can't even. It's no, absolutely not.
Yeah, man, Yahushua had that.
Right? Yeah, absolutely, man. All right. And then the third aspect we talked about, physical power, which is power of the body, literal strength, jumping, all this power over time. You don't decay. You don't know. You're immortal. And then power over resources.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about the human resource of the Gentiles and everything else that comes along with it. We went through that with that word exousia, which exemplified the complete authority that we have with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua as joint heirs. Okay, so we wanted to cover power and go over it. If any brothers have closing points, please.
I did that.
Whatever y'all got, bring them on out, and then we'll close out.
Okay, I did too. But this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, which that's tied to his power as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Which backs that precept that you brought from Zechariah 12 and 8. We're going to be like Yahweh Shai, who was sitting on the right hand side of the Father, which is ultimate power. That's it on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a precept of one of them. This is Philippians chapter 3, verse. I'll start at 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we looked for the Savior, our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. So being godlike, man. You know what I'm saying? Going into everything that, this Quan was going into today, man. That's going to be a glorious, beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, I hope y'all was taking notes on that one. That one came in. You didn't make it to this part of the lesson. That's your fault. Go ahead. Brothers are spinning ninja blades right now. That's why you got to listen to the whole, you got to get to the back end of the lesson. Because when brothers start a lesson, usually you don't get rolling until about 10 minutes in.
Flowing.
So the real nuggets be at the back of the lesson.
Yeah,
That's true. That's facts.
Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. So when you talk about these things, and it's great to hope for, but we can only think about it so much.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Right.
So, but for it to actually play out, man, oh man, that blessing and that gift that we can get.
Yeah, you got to keep that vision. Keep chasing it. Keep chasing that imagination, man, of what it's going to be like. Let that fuel you. Okay?
I got one real quick here. This is Revelation 2:26. I don't know if you probably saw it earlier. It says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." And that same word power, Revelation 2:26, is exousia.
Yeah, exousia.
Same exact word. And it said that he's gonna give us power over the nations, which is that authority that, that authority. Having the liberty to spread our influence over the planet Earth. It says, "And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father."
They're gonna be punished for going off. It ain't gonna be no sanctions like the elder was saying.
Yeah.
We gonna actually, we gonna jack them up. They ain't gonna want to buck up against us, man.
That's right. That's right.
It's gonna be an ironclad rule in righteousness, though.
Bend that knee.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Okay, cool. All right, man. So Lord willing, that was edifying, man. We want to say call halal.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you, brothers and sisters out there pushing the glory of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, in sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom.